Hi peeps, it's Tersse back on the old squat box once again. So, I'm here talking about American foreign policy. You might be asking yourself, what is some old Scotsman who's never fought in a war got to say about American foreign policy, you know? And I can only say probably not a lot, because I don't tend to say a lot about shit. I just tend to say a lot about very little. You know what I'm talking about. You guys, you know me. I'm Tersse, you know what I mean? And if I can say something about nothing for a long time, I will say it. But I've got to say, you Americans have got to understand, Britain's been through all this sort of like empire shit. We did it for like, 200 years, and America's been doing it pretty badly on as far as I can say, pretty badly for like, 60 years. You're fucking crap at it, you know what I mean? You are so bad at it. It's like, how the fuck did you ever become independent? You know what I mean? Please, let me know, because Scotland's looking to be independent from fucking England. Pardon me. And it's looking like it's going to be a struggle to get there, because we're not going to be able to take guns up and shoot the English. We're going to have to do it through the ballot box, you know what I mean? But I've got to say, yous Americans have got no fucking idea what you're doing around the world. You're trying to be the policeman of the fucking world. I think a lot of that's to do with the fact that a lot of your politicians are paid by the people who make your guns and your bullets, and they don't make money if you're not at war, which I think that had a lot to do with Bush deciding to go to war in Afghanistan and Iraq, because all his mates were all manufacturers of guns and bullets, and they could only make huge amounts of money after they paid for him to get elected if America went to war. Kinda reminds me of the shit that went on in Britain, 200 years ago, 100 years ago, that sort of thing. The Boer War, all that crap, Well, the Boer War is like, Britain's fucking Vietnam, you know what I mean? That's basically what it is. And, but, the people in power don't care about that, because their kids aren't going fighting in fucking Vietnam. And, do you remember any presidential, candidate whose kid got shot in Vietnam, never came back, went there to prove himself, died, never came back? There's no such fucking shit. Do you remember any fucking, presidential or any of his cohorts during the Bush administration? Do you remember any of the people who were part of the Bush administration whose kids signed up and went to war in Afghanistan or Iraq? No, you don't, because they never did. They all were made sure of. In the First World War, lots of Americans died saving Europe, supposedly. Saving Europe. You helped us save the world. You didn't save Europe, you saved yourself. If it wasn't for you coming over here, we might have lost, and that would have meant that you would have been faced with a whole fucking world against you, and you didn't want that. And the Second World War was pretty much the fucking same. It's like, you were all sitting over there listening to rock and roll music and everything was fine until, the Japanese fucking bombed Pearl Harbor, and then it was like, oh my god, well, if they can bomb Pearl Harbor, the next thing you know, they'll be on the fucking west coast of fucking America. Yeah, raping our women and blowing their towns up. Yeah, you were fucking right about that. That's where they were going to come next if you just stayed out, you know what I mean? If you'd have just swallowed that and said, well, if we just let them have that little island, that little island, maybe they won't come for us, but they were coming for you. And you would have faced the trouble that the Nazis faced. The whole problem was the Nazis faced a two fucking sided battle. They had the Russians, who the British people supplied by sending people up through the fucking the North Sea, round into, I can't remember the names of the ports because I'm drunk, but we fed them with food, bullets, tanks that we had to buy off of America. We bought your ships, we rented your ships, and it took us like 30 years, 40 years, 50 years to pay yous back. Way to go, America, and helping Europe. You know what I mean? You didn't do it for nothing. You came over here, you sent the soldiers, your young men died, but you rich people made money out of it because we had to rent the ships off of them that brought your soldiers over, brought the food over to keep us going against the Nazis. And we didn't just buy food for us, we bought food and it came in, it went on a new ship and it went off to Russia to help the Russians fight from the east so that we could fight from the west. It was a hugely complicated fucking thing. Whereas, you know what I mean, life, God did it. Yeah, that's all you need to know. The Bible says everything, God did it, and that's, your whole fucking country's fucked up with God did it. God did it, God did it, God did it. It's called Benghazi, Benghazi, Benghazi. God did it, God did it. You're fucked up. Europe's fucked up. We're all fucked up. And by the way, I see a huge chance that Europe is going to become fascist again over the next 10 or 15 years. And we're going to have another huge, you would call it, the war, not the war of independence, but the war where you fought each other. I can't remember, I'm very, very drunk. That war when you brothers killing brothers, cousins killing cousins, that's what's going to be happening in Europe in 15 years if we don't sort this fucking shit out, you know what I mean? We've got to make sure that the nationalist parties, the fucktarded Nazis, and you've got a lot of them in America, don't give me shit about but we're all freedom believers. That's bullshit. You've got a huge amount of fundamentalist Nazi fuckers over there. They just don't call themselves Nazis, they call themselves fundamentalist Christians. They're fucking Nazis. And they turn around and they point at the Nazis and say, see, that's what you get from evolution. You get people saying, you're not one of us, you're not pure, so we need to shoot you. And that's what you've got in America. You've got a whole bunch of fundamentalist Christians who say, well, none of yous are like us, we're pure, and you're bastards, and you all need to die. That's what you've got in America. You need to sort that fucking shit out, You need to sort that shit out fucking toot sweet, because it also spills over into Europe, and we have got a lot of Nazi nationalist fucking fucktard wankers here in Europe, and we need you in America to support us in Europe to say we're not going to let these fuckers take over our fucking democracy and bastardise it just like the fucking National Socialists did when Germany became what it was, a fucktarded fascist state. Well, it's all very well to say, well, freedom of speech, freedom of action, shooting doctors. I don't give a fuck what the doctor did. Shooting doctors, people who heal and save lives, that's acceptable in America. Oh, fuck you, you know what I mean? Shooting children. 32-year-old people shooting 15-year-old children and saying, I was scared of that 15-year-old child, so I had to get my gun and shoot him. That's acceptable in America. And you fucking so fucked out, you can't see the shit that's going on. I see it rising every day here in Britain and in Europe. The rise of the right wing, the rise of the fucktarded, the rise of the people who can't put up with someone who says, I don't believe what you say, and therefore they need to die. They need to die. Anybody who questions you, you say die. That's the fundamentalist fucking fucktarded, political, religious, social. People shouldn't have abortions. People shouldn't be able to question my belief. People shouldn't be able to say that, my ideas of the world aren't good, That's what you're going through. You're seeing the rise in America, as we are seeing in Europe, the rise of fucktarded, fascist fuckers, you know what I mean? I don't know, what your political views are, but even if you're a Republican, you're not a fascist unless you are a fascist. If you believe that, my God, we've got a black guy in the fucking White House, we need to get our guns and go to the fucking Washington and shoot people and force them out of the office because it's a Kenyan, and if you believe that, you're a fucktard. If you're the kind of person who believes, well, the Republicans lost the last election, the Democrats won, and President Obama, even if he is black, got elected twice by the population of America. Do you know what? Yeah, I don't like it, but I'm willing to think that maybe we can fight and get out in the street and do the things that you do during the elections, you know what I mean? Talk to people, convince them they should, vote for someone else. That's the democratic system. But when it comes down to we should all just hate him because he's different, that's fascism. That's bigotry and fascism. We don't need to sit there and say, well, I hate him because he's Chinese or black or he's a spick, oh my fucking God, he's a Romanian or a Pole, what the fuck is it? None of this makes any fucking sense. But apparently it does to some people, yes, and it makes sense to the fucking Nazi fucking fringe on the fucking far left or the far right, communists or fucking, Nazis. But how many communists have you got in America? I would say none. How many fascists have you got? I would say about 28% of your country are fucking fascists, you know what I mean? See, that's what happens when you conquer a fascist country and then you just sort of say, we're going to let you off with everything you did so long as you work for us. And then you let them breed through your population. You let them disseminate their fucktarded beliefs into your poor, you know what I mean? got a huge amount of white poor people who hated blacks anyway and thought they should be slaves, and then you have this shit reinforced by Nazis on the other side, and now you've got white Nazism. Ku Klux Klan was, I don't know if I pronounce it right, the Ku Klux Klan. Yeah, they were fucking rabbit breeders compared to the fucking fascists you've got in your country now. And the shit that I get pissed off with is you exporting your fucking fascist motherfuckers from America to Britain. Now my country has got fucking thousands of fucking fucktarded fundamentalist young earth creationist mind fat fuckers infiltrating my fucking country, infiltrating my political system. We need to eradicate those fuckers. Yeah. Now I'm a fascist because I want to shoot the fuckers in the head. I mean, I want to get rid of those fuckers. I want to get rid of those fucking pricks who think that they're older than 6,000 years old, and that's what we should be teaching in school. And we should be teaching them that Noah was a man of worth when he was a fucking murdering, steaming, fucking drunken, fucktard cunt, you know what I mean? Who hated everybody and wanted to see them all fucking drown. Well, apparently that's what God wanted them to think as well. So I hate your God as well, you stupid fucks. Your God was a fucking misogynistic, Nazi, murdering fuck. That's your fucking God that you love, you know what I mean? I'm not talking about fucking Jesus, I'm talking about his dad, you know what I mean? Let's get it straight. According to Kem Ham, Jesus wasn't there for the fucking Old Testament, so what the fuck has he got to say about it? All he's got to say about fucking his shit is, well, I was born over birds and I dabbled with whores, spent a bit of time in the desert, came back and beat some people in the church, a bit like a crazy drunk guy would do, but oh, you're lauding for that. He went into the church and he scoured them, you know, with his scourge whip, you know, he beat them and turned over tables. If I was to do that today, I'd probably get shot with a fucking cop in America within about 20 minutes, you know what I mean? No way they would allow me to walk into a place of fucking worship and shout and bawl and say, I'm the returning Jesus, you know what I mean? Yeah. Do you know what happened? Yeah, the cops would come in and fucking shoot me. Okay, I might end up dead, dragged off to, you know, some, I don't know, principalities, you know, warehouse where they keep the dead and, you know, they cut them open, and then I would rise from the dead, but nobody'd ever know about it because there's no cameras there. There's no fucking, you know, TV reality show going to be fucking filming me. They'll all be talking about me on news, and then there'll be a big fucking, you know, oh my god, the body disappeared. Somebody must have went in there and stole it. No, you wouldn't be talking about rolling away the fucking stone today, would you? No, it would be if my body, if I was resurrected after being shot, it would all be about, no, somebody stole the body of the mass murderer who went in and kicked over some fucking tables and punched some people and scourged them out, you know. The only person that would be shot probably would be me, you know what I mean? And then if my body disappeared, nobody would give a shit. They wouldn't care about rolling away the stone and all that. No, it would be like, no, if Jesus returned now and did the shit that he did back when we did that shit and it had to be put in a tomb and the stone had, if he did it now, It would just be a body that disappeared, and then it would be like, you know, well, this mass murderer, he didn't murder him, he just punched a few people and turned some tables, but he got shot and killed because he looked like he was dangerous. His body's disappeared. And it's like, how does that mesh with like, the story of the Bible? If Jesus returned today, they wouldn't nail him on a cross. No, they would shoot him for appearing to be someone who's sniffing bath salts. That's how Jesus would be treated today, as a bath salt sniffer. And if his body disappeared out the morgue, there would be no great writings written about him. Ken Ham, no, the book of Ken Ham wouldn't exist, because Ken Ham, even Ken Ham, the young earth creationist, wouldn't believe that Jesus was Jesus if he returned. People would just shoot him and then wonder who was it that stole his body out of the morgue. That would be the you know, and people would say, well, I was working that night, and you know, this body that I know as, you know, the guy that was shot, you know, Jesus, you know, he walked past me and says, "Peace be upon you, brother," and walked out. And as he walked out, I could see his wounds heal in front of my eyes, and people would think, yeah, let's test him for drugs. Sure, he must have been, no, let's test him, let's search his car, let's search his house, let's give him a blood test. You know, like, fucking hell, this cunt's got to be stoned to be saying that. Nobody would be talking about rolling away the stone or opening the vault. Nobody would be talking about that shit today. It would all be, well, we're waiting on Jesus coming back, but we expect him to come back in a different way from what he did before. Even the religious people wouldn't believe that he was Jesus. They just wouldn't. If Jesus returned today and did what he did back then, go into temples and turn over to it, he would probably then got tased, and when it didn't work, they would shoot him, and then he would be stuffed in one of those silver bins that you see on the, you know, the CSI, you know, it'd be a body in a bag, stuffed in a fucking chiller. And when he walked out past the people who were looking after these places, they go, "Oh my God, who is this person walking out?" You know, nobody would care, nobody would believe it, nobody would think that this was Jesus or God acting, you know what I mean? Anybody who says it was God would be, you know, declaimed as a heretic. Ken Ham and all his ilk would always say, it's not Jesus. They'd be saying it's a conspiracy by the government and the atheists to try and make us think that Jesus came back. Because I've not been sucked up into heaven yet, and therefore it's not true. Even though Jesus wouldn't suck Ken Ham up because he's a lying bastard. He's lied and cheated his way to the fucking, you know, the high echelons of, you know, how much money he owns today. You know, he's a multi-millionaire now, Ken Ham. Although he's got millions of dollars in debt, but he's still a millionaire, you know, until the bank's calling his fucking credit, and then he's fucked, you know what I mean? But he would think, it's not Jesus because Jesus would answer my prayers for money. Well, Jesus never answered any prayers for money, and he never will. That's not what Jesus does, you know what I mean? He looks after the poor, if you read your Bible, Ken Ham, you fucktard. And that's why the religious right would hate Jesus if he came back. They would always turn around and say, he's a faker, and it's, you know, it's like, you know, when the cock crows 3 times, you will deny me 3 times, and you'll end up with 30 pieces of silver and hang yourself over a branch of a tree. Unfortunately, the people today aren't so aren't so driven by truth and understanding. It's like, no, I love having my multi-million-pound house that all the people I've conned into believing I'm a good pastor who given me Ken Ham and others of your ilk. You know, you've sponged money off of people for fucking decades. And if Jesus showed up and stood before you and says, I'm Jesus, you would not believe him. Even though you say, I feel Jesus in my heart. It's bullshit. You don't feel fuck all. What you do feel is my wallet getting thicker. That's what you feel. Not Jesus in your heart. Ken Ham is a fucking faker, con man. If Jesus ever showed up, Ken Ham would reject him. He would reject him just like, what do you call him? I can't remember the name of the guy. The guy who rejected Jesus, like the crow, you know. I don't know, some chicken will crow 3 times and you'll deny me 3 times. Ken Ham will deny Jesus because he likes his money more than he likes his idea of Jesus. Because Jesus is certainly not what he thinks Jesus is, and God certainly isn't what he thinks God is either, you know what I mean? Because he's a fucking idiot. You have to excuse me. I'm getting very, very, very drunk. Because I love doing that thing, you know, getting drunk, you know. I like getting drunk, I like talking shit. Although the shit I talk is actually better truth than the shit that Ken Ham talks. And cut fucking, I don't know, he fucking cut fucking banana guy and the other, you know, banana guy. Oh, have you ever seen them talk about, you know, how they love sucking on bananas and how it fits their hand and all that? You know, what else would be that shape and size that fits their hand and they love putting on their mouth? I don't know. I'm just saying. You ever seen any of these people with women? You ever see any of them? Ken Ham. I don't know, is he married? Does he ever bring his wife anywhere where he goes? So what's he doing? She's married. If he's married, she's at home and he's travelling the world doing speeches and talks, and he tends to like kids. He loves kids. Oh my God, he loves talking to kids. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he is a paedophile. I'm just saying, what kind of person would spend all his life getting close to kids when he's making nothing out of it? Apparently he makes nothing out of it. Well, we all know he does make money out of it, but he also gets to meet lots of kids. Who else was doing that kind of shit? I think the BBC have been upset by the police investigation of Jimmy Savile, who did a lot of good stuff for kids. I mean, he was fantastic. He made kids' dreams come true in more ways than one. I'm just wondering, Mr. Ken Ham, what are you doing for kids? You seem to be very interested in getting in there and indoctrinating kids and making sure that they understand that, you, not just God or the Bible, but you are a authority to be trusted and listened to. And I've actually seen some of your videos, Mr. Ken Ham. You want children to do as you say and not talk about it. There's do is I say, I've seen you, you know, indoctrinating them. You know. So, Kent Hovind, I mean, why are you trying to build all these theme parks? Why are you trying to like copy, you know, Disneyland and all that for Christians? You know, you want all these kids to come to your place where, you know, there's going to be a lot of kids. The parents can't always be watching over them. I wonder, just wondering. I mean, we've had the big gigantic sort of, you know, the Catholic paedophiles, you know what I mean? So when are we going to get the fundamentalist paedophiles? Because I'm sure that fucking Kent Hovind, fucking Kirk Cameron, and his fucking, you know, Way of the Masters shit, sucking on bananas, I'm sure that's a fucking, you know, what, that's not fucking homoerotic whatsoever, is it? Sucking on a banana, that's not homoerotic. Only when it's performed by people who say this is a porn video, you know. But when it's considered as a Christian religious video, it's definitely not homoerotic. So, you know, Kirk Cameron and the Way of the Master, Kent Hovind, you know, wanting to always be, you know, indoctrinating children into believing he's a figure to be, you know, trusted. Isn't that the basis of, you know, what paedophiles do, grooming children? Isn't that the basis of grooming kids to trust you, you know, so you can get close enough to them to fucking prey on them? I've got to say, I've got huge doubts about that wanker. And I don't give a fuck if he's got a fucking Aussie accent. I've got a Scottish accent. I don't go around fucking, you know, trying to get lots of kids to come and listen to me to be an atheist. So how come all these Christians go around using their accent, say, well, yeah, I'm not American, he's all over my accent, and, you know, let's all get together and I'll talk to your kids and I'll convince them to trust me, and then you adults can all go off and have a drink and I'll look after your kids. I'm fucking sure that's fucking what's going on. He's definitely going to look after your kids, but do you trust him? Shit, do you trust your priest? If I was a Catholic, I wouldn't be trusting my priest, and if I was a fucking young earth fucking creationist, I would be trusting fucking Ken Ham, or a fucking Kip fucking, you know, cock-old fucking, you know, banana sucker. You know, I wouldn't trust any of those fuckers, you know what I mean? They keep trying to make sure that you're worried about atheists. I'm not going to come for your kid. I couldn't give a shit about your fat fucking Christian kid, but you know who loves your kid? Kirk Cameron. Kirk Cameron loves your little fat kid. You know who else loves your little fat kid? Yes, you know what I mean? Ken Ham. Ken Ham, the Australian fucking dingo dongo fucking guy. He fucking loves your little fat kid. You know what I mean? He wants to talk to your little fat kid more than you want to talk to your little fat kid. You know what I mean? Why do you think that is? You know what I mean? If you can't stand your kids, what about this, Dad? What about that? Why? If you can't put up with that, why the fuck can Ken Ham put up with it? No, he's not putting up with it. He just wants you to fuck off so he can get your kid to suck his cock. You know what I mean? That's basically what's going on. And if you think that that's not what's going on, stick a fucking camera on your kid's chest. One of those tiny little fucking cameras, you know what I mean? Stick a little tiny little fucking microphone, you know, that records to your fucking iPhone, you know what I mean? And then find out what's going on with your Ken Hams and your fucking Kit fucking McDonald, or, you know, Kit Camerons, your Ken Hams, and, you know, and your priests and your ministers, and don't let your kid go anywhere without you knowing what's going on. You should always have it being recorded to your fucking database somewhere, so that you can always say, what's up, you kid? You know what I mean? I sent you to a camp and you were full of fun and joy. Now you come back and you're all like, oh, I don't want to do nothing, Dad. No, please don't send me back to camp. I don't want to go out. You know, what happened to you? Somebody stuck the big cock in his mouth or up his ass. You want to fucking look after that shit. You know what I mean? You can't trust the cameras of the road. You can't trust the Ken Hams of the road. Yes, they're fulfilling your prophecy of spreading the Bible, but they're also fulfilling the prophecy, if you read the Bible, of men fucking boys. You know what I mean? I don't trust any of those fuckers. And you shouldn't fucking either, if you're religious. See, I'm of the mind that any man who wants to be integrated, related to huge rooms of young people when the parents aren't there, needs to be fucking investigated to the nth degree. You know what I mean? They need to be filmed. They shouldn't be left alone, the kids. No fucking way. Anywhere where they have an office, I mean, that fucking office should be bugged with a camera and a fucking microphone. You know what I mean? They shouldn't be able to talk shit in front of an audience and then disappear into a room with a single child in order to give them individual tuition. Fuck that shit. No individual tuition. You teach them as a class. And if you've got some fucker in your fucking life who's giving your child individual religious tuition, you want to be thinking, what the fuck is going on in there when I'm not there? And why is my kid not the way it was a year ago after being with this prick for a year? You need to understand that shit. And you need to think it's not because he's suddenly found Jesus, it's probably because he's being abused. You need to investigate that shit. And if you don't investigate that shit, you're a fucking bad parent. God's gonna judge you. I hope you understood why I laughed. Because there's no God. Nobody's going to judge you except yourself and your son or your daughter who's been abused by somebody you left in the care of, you know what I mean? Because you trusted them, because they, as far as you're concerned, thought they believe the same as things that you believe in. Nobody believes the same shit you believe. You're a fucking idiot if you believe that. Nobody believes the same shit you believe. The Bible, any Bible, of any religion, is a huge, gigantic picking mix. And if you want to know what your kid knows about shit, take them to a picking mix and say, you can have anything you want as long as you tell me what's going on in your life. And get them, every time they pick 2 or 3 sweeties, they've got to tell you something about what's going on in their life. And then you can find out what they think, what they feel. You can draw it out of them. You just got to be nice with them and say, well, you can have that and that and that. If you tell me what happened last week, you know what I mean? It's just up to you, you know. But you can have all these sweeties if you tell me what's going on. You can draw it out your kid if they're having problems communicating, you know. And then again, there's some kids, all they need is for them to understand that you love them, and they will tell you the truth. The thing is, are you willing, if they tell you the truth, to confront other people and say, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. What just people just aren't willing to go there. Just not willing to go there. They're not willing to challenge people you think have got power above you. Fuck that. They don't have any power. If you believe in the Holy Spirit and the God and Jesus and all that, who the fuck has power over you other than God? Go out there, ask your children what's going on with the people that are you put in charge of them when you're not there. Ask them what's going on in their life. Ask them what happens. Ask them if anybody's touched them. Ask them especially if people like fucking Kem Ham and fucking Cut, fucking whatever his fucking name is, banana, fucking sucking cunt. You know what I mean? If they've had any fucking contact, ask them if did they ever touch you. You know what I mean? I'm sure you'll find you fucking did. These cunts are all fucking perverts, you know what I mean? They keep saying that it's the gay people got to that's diverting your attention to the gays, but they're the fucking paedophile fuckers you've got to watch out for. The Kirk Camerons and the fucking Ken fucking Hovens and all those fuckers. They're all paedophile fucks. I'm telling you. I'm fucking telling you, they're all paedophile fucks. That's what I believe. That's my personal fucking opinion. Yeah. I could be wrong. No, it's possible I'm wrong. I suppose I'm biased as an atheist. I'm biased, you know what I mean? But I think they're paedophile fucks and they should be sought out. People should bug their kids. They should have fucking bugs on their phone. They should make sure that anything that's recorded on their phone gets directly, you know, uploaded to a fucking cloud, fucking, you know, what do you call it? Cloud memory, and then you can download it and check it and see what's going on. Because don't trust nobody. Nobody with the kids in my family. You know, nobody. Everybody is fucking suspect. I don't trust no fucker. Because it's the people you trust that end up being the abusers. It's the people you trust, your priests, your fucking ministers. They're the fuckers that end up fucking your kids. And fucking their heads up. And fucking their life up. And then they turn around and say, why didn't you, mum and dad, look after me? Because you trusted these fuckers. You trusted these fuckers to look after your kids. Because you were just too fucking complacent. Couldn't give a shit. Oh, they're men of God. How many men of God have been shagging kids over the last fucking 100 years? 200 years, 1,000 years, how many have burnt people at stake to fucking cover up their fucking, you know what I mean? Oh fucking hell, I shagged that man's wife and got her pregnant. I've got to get somebody to claim that she's a witch so I can burn her at the stake and get rid of it, and you know, nobody's going to trust anything she says after that because she's a witch, she's a demon, and then she says I can then say, oh, you're only saying that to pull me into the controversy. You know, that's exactly what a demon and a witch would do. You know, that's what happened back then when we burned people. It wasn't to fucking clear the earth of fucking witches. It's to clear the earth of people who would turn around and say, yeah, the priest fucked me and got me pregnant when they're not supposed to have sex, they're not supposed to be involved, and you know, what do you call it, naturalistic, you know, things, you know, they're not supposed to get involved in it, but they did, they forced, they talked and cajoled women into having sex with them, otherwise they would, you know, do something against their husband or their family or whatever, and then when they got pregnant, you know, then they say, you know, now I've got to burn you as a witch because I can't have people saying that you're pregnant to my kid, you know, it's up, you know. That's the way I see it, you know, the Dark Ages when religion ruled the land, because it wasn't religion ruling the land. God didn't rule the land, men ruled the land. And men do these horrible fucking things if it's capable for them to do these horrible things. There's a lot of men who will do horrible things because they can, and they don't give a shit about other people. A lot of men don't even give a shit about their own family. Some people are psychotics. Some people are, what do you call it, sociopaths, you know what I mean? And they don't give a shit. They know that there's nothing here, nothing there. There's no life after death. It's like, no, I just do what I do and love it, and then when I die, you know. And it's not atheists that think like that. It's the religious, powerful who think like that. Not all of them, but the people who really fight to get into those positions of power, why the hell would you fight to get into that position of power and then not do anything to help the people that you came from? Why would you fight to get in that position of power and then fight to retain the possibility of other people being in that position of power when you're dead and nobody can take that power away from you? Why would people who get into the political system make sure that the political system doesn't change in any way that threatens them being part of the political system? Ooh, why would they do that? I'm sure they do it out of, you know, the fact that, you know, only they could help the people who they came from. It's bullshit, you know. They're only trying to conserve their own access to power and keep themselves in power. They don't want changes to the democratic system that make them vulnerable to not being elected, which I can understand with the Tea Party in America. That's what it started. It was a groundswell of, let's kick the fuckers out, you know. But then it all got down to, like, no, now you've got the Tea Party is so weak they can't even win one election out of fucking 7. And the Republican Party is saying, now you've proved the Tea Party has got no power, you've got to listen to us. Mr. Boehner is one of the most, what do you call them? Yeah, one of the people that you know, you've got to go with me, and yet he won't bring a single vote to the House of anything that Obama's name might be attached to, because, well, we can't have a black president having a good presidency. We can't have his historical fucking record say that as a black man, a black president, he did better than any white president in the last 30 or 40 years. You know, since the 1930s, when you know, Teddy Roosevelt, I can't remember, I'm drunk now, you know, but Teddy, he fixed the economy, sorted out the, you know, the Glass-Steagall and that, and then past president done away with that, and Obama hasn't reinstated it, you know. I mean, what the fuck? How much do you need in America to see that, people in power, if they're not really in high power like Obama, and they're not like Boehner, but they're little people with little bits of power who always wanted to have lots of power, but they've got like lots of people under them who have got absolutely no power. And why wouldn't they exert their power over these people with no power to prove to themselves that I've got some power? I mean, that's basically what power is. Because let's face it, this rape of women and rape of children, it's power mongering. That's what it is. It's fucking power mongering. They want to feel they're strong and have power, and that's why people, I'm not talking about the paedophiles who hunt people and drag them in a car and drag them. I'm talking about systematic, paedophilia and rape and abuse of the power. That's what you see in your lower echelons of government, your lower echelons of statehood, state control. You're fucking, and getting down to it, you call it marshals and your sheriffs and all that, and deputies. They abuse their power every fucking day. Not every one of them, but a lot of them do, because they can. And they get drugs and money and sex out of forcing people. You can suck my cock or I can arrest you. You can let me have your drugs and fuck off, and then I can sell it to someone else, and I can force someone to do something I want them to do, or I'll plant the drugs on them. All that shit. We know that shit goes on. It happens not just in America, but in Britain and Europe. People in that position of power do it. Little minion fucking sergeants and corporals, they want to be like some of them, not all of them, but some of them want to be like, because that's human fucking nature. That's fucking human nature, man. I find it really funny that whenever I've actually had the ability to have power over people, I never used it. I never used it. I've been in positions of being a manager, being basically, within a small group, the top dog, and I've never abused my power. And if I think really far back when I was in school, 7, 8-year-old, 9-year-old, I remember when I seen people who thought they had that power and tried to take that power by bullying people. They'd approach me and try to bully me and say, like, you're going to do it, and I would turn around and say, fuck you, and you could see in their face, I remember this as a child, I could see it as like, not a face of astonishment, but you would occasionally get that look of, what? As if like, no. Why the fuck aren't you just doing what everybody else does and bow to me and do what I do? And it's like, disbelief. I think that was the expression. Disbelief. What? I told you to fucking do it. And it was like, fuck you. Fuck you, And he's standing there, this little fucking squat. I think I was about 8-year-old, little squat, little fucking cunt. I'm trying to think his fucking name, because I remember him. And I remember one of his bouncers, one of his thugs was a guy called Stan Devine. I can't remember the other guy. He was much shorter than Stan, because Stan was like, you know, Stan was 12 years old and 6'2". 6'2", 12-year-old. You know what I mean? And this little, it was Max something, McQueen or something, fucking. I can't get this. I'm going a real far back. I'm going to talk about 19. I don't know, I was like 12. So that would have been 1973. 1973. I think 1972, because I was a year behind. But 1972, I'd have been 11. No, I'm talking about it was 8, so 3 years before that. 72, 69. But 68 or 68 or 69. But you know, I was the sort of person I just wasn't going, I can't remember the fucking name of that guy. You know, yeah, you know, before I got beat up, the 3 of them, 1 of me. You know what I mean? They wanted my what do you call it? You know, when I left home and went to school, I got like threatens. You know what I mean? A few pence. That's before the decimalisation came in, so I got threatens, you know what I mean? Sometimes, you know, 1.5 pence, you know what I mean? Because my mum didn't have a lot, she'd 5 kids to look after, you know what I mean? But every time they came to get my money or, you know, like my packet of crisps, I was like, you're not getting it, you know what I mean? I'm not giving you my crisps, you're going to have to take, you know. And they kind of, they liked that. They kind of liked that because I fought and then they beat me up. And everybody else would see them beating up somebody who, you know, resisted, you know what I mean? And they would still, you know, beat them up, 3 of them against me and take my stuff. And everybody else would then just say, I'll just give them my stuff because I don't want to get beat up. But that was when I was 8, 7 or 8 year old. And then I mean I was there until I was 12, you know what I mean? 11 or 12, and then we went to the secondary school after that. You'd summer, you know, you finished primary school and at the beginning of the summer, at the end of the summer you went to the secondary school, you know, you became, you know, I don't know what you call it in America, you went from low school to high school or something like that, you know. So before that, when I got to like, you know, 10 or 11, I pretty much got used to these fuckers, you know, coming and take my shit off me. But as I got older, I thought, I'm doing this wrong, you know. I'm fucking doing this wrong, you know what I mean? It's like, these fuckers are, you know, if I have to face up to them 3 at a time, they're always going to win, you know. So, what I did one day, we're playing football, you know. We just got, you know, you get your, you know, and those times, you know, you had like a couple of hours in the morning where you did, you know, sums and English, or, you know, you did what you, and then you go, you know, like sort of a 15-20 minute break, so the teacher can go and have a cup of tea and all that shit, and we were all kicked out, and that's when, you know, the bully used to come in, give me your fucking money and your crisps and all that shit, you know. But you know, as you got older, like, you know, they tended to pick on the younger people, and we could play football, and Tony Gatella he wasn't the guy that Tony Gatella wasn't the guy that was one of the three that, you know, bullied me. Tony Gatella was different. He was a bully on his own. He was big and fat, and they wouldn't target him because he's like, you know, he was always bigger and fatter than them. I think Stan Devaney could have kicked his cunt in, but I think the guy, I can't remember his fucking name. Oh, it's a long, I mean, I'm 52, I'm trying to talk about when I was 7, 8, 9-year-old, 10, 11, 10, 11, 12-year-old, you know. But I remember this, we were playing football, and one of my mates was, you know, doing, you know, it's like a big high, oh God, I'd say about 3-metre fence all the way around the school at the back, so that, you know, you come out the school and like you had a playground, and it was a 3-metre fence so that nobody could come in and steal kids and run away with them. I don't think it was. I think it was more to keep us in than keep people outside for coming and stealing us. You know what I mean? But yeah. So we're playing football for one into the other, and this guy Tony Gatella, he jumped on one of the guys on my team and started punching him. You know, he was quite fat for his age. You know, for 11, 12, you know. And say, you're a poacher, and I know he was a poacher. There was no such law or rule in the fucking game as poaching or not poaching. If he was doing it around the park and I got the ball and I passed it to him and he scored, it was a goal, you know what I mean? There was Tony Gatella must have seen some fucking crap shit on TV or something, you know what I mean, because I didn't have a TV at the time that I could watch football on. Well, you know, we had a TV in it, but I never seen football on it, you know. And you know, so Tony Gatella was talking shit. I mean, you know, he was saying, "You're a poacher." You know, what the fuck's a poacher? And he stands down here and waits for you to pass the ball to him, and then he scores. And I thought, well, isn't that a good tactic? You know what I mean? It's like, no, it's illegal. You can't do that, you know, because he's offside. You know, we're playing 5-a-side fucking football, you know what I mean? We're not playing fucking 11-a-side fucking, you know, Scottish FA fucking rules, you know what I mean? We're playing 5-a-side football in a fucking, you know, the backyard of a fucking school. Who the fuck cares about fucking offside rules? We don't have any of that shit, you know what I mean? It didn't exist, you know? But anyway, he started punching it, and I ran out and I just booted him. Didn't boot him in the face, but I booted him, you know, in the side there. I booted him in the side, you know, just on his armpit, because he was punching my mate, you know, and I was like, I just ran out and I went, boom, kicked him and he fell over, you know what I mean? He got off my mate, and he got up and said, I'm going to fucking kill you, and he jumped me, and he was, compared to me, you know what I mean, at that time I would have been about, like, you know, fucking 5 foot fucking 3 or some fucking thing. I was 11-year-old, you know, 5'3" or something like that, 5'4", and he was like, no, 5'5" and fucking, you know, twice, you know, 5'5" and like, you know, I don't know, fucking 160 pounds. He was a fat bastard, you know. And he ran at me, and I just went, boof. I put my fist out, you know, boof. You know what I mean? I hit him in the face, and he just went, boom. He just went over, and I jumped on him, you know. And I think I was about 10 or 11 at the time. I mean, it wasn't the ending, it was 10 or 11. I jumped and took his chest, like, you know, and I pinned his arms, one under each knee, and sat back on his stomach. He was trying to throw me off that, you know, bucking, you know. And I says to him, "Don't fucking fine," you know what I mean? And this is when I learned what, you know, because I asked the question, why did you fucking attack? You know, I can't even mind the guy's name that he attacked, you know. But you know, and this is when it was a Portuguese doing that. I said, no, he was a Portuguese. You know, we're not playing fucking FA fucking rules here. You know what I mean? It's fucking school fucking rules where, you know, nothing goes. There's no else fucking side. You can't start fucking making rules, you know what I mean? And he says, "I'm going to kill you," you know what I mean? And he tried to butt me off, you know. So I punched him in the face. And I says, "Look, I'm not going to get off you. And I'm not going to get until you say you're dying and everything's fine. Because I'm not going to get up and have to fucking put you back down in the ground." Because this guy was twice my weight, you know what I mean? So, you know. And he argued that, and I punched him a couple. Anyway, I punched a few people, and eventually said, okay, I'll give up, and you know, if you let me up, we'll not have to fight him there, you know, it's all done, mate, and you know, the goal counts and all that, you know, and I let him up, and basically, you know, it wasn't over, as you know, I can talk about it, you know. It wasn't. I was about 11-year-old when this happened. And it was a year to go before because I remember Stan Devani, as I mentioned Stan Devani before. He was still going around with, what's his fucking name? Mac something. McQueen. Was it McQueen? Mac something, anyway. And I couldn't understand this because McQueen, let's just call him McQueen, right? McQueen. He was like, no, 5 foot nothing. And I couldn't understand why Stan Devani was doing what this fucking 5 foot nothing cunt was telling it to do when Stan Devani was like 6'12", you know what I mean? At the age of 12, right? He was 11. He was like, no. No, hold on. Am I saying 6'2"? Yeah, no, he was. Yeah, he was taller than any of the teachers in the fucking school. He was like 6'2". 6 foot tall. He was like 6'2", you know. He was a fucking giant of a man. I mean, do you know when you read when you're a kid and you read stories about giants, right? I mean, we're all, you know, the tallest guys in the school at age 11, we were all like, you know, 5'3" and shit like that, you know what I mean? But 11, you know what I mean? 5'2", 5'3", 5 foot, you know, and then you get this guy who's 6'2", you know what I mean? He's like 12 inches taller than anybody in the school, you know, and he's trying to, and by the way, this, I think it's McQueen. Oh, I can't really remember his name, but I can remember him, I can see him, the little shit. He was like 5 foot nothing, you know what I mean? 5 foot nothing, and he's controlling this 6 foot fucking 2 giant, you know. And it wasn't Tony Gatella who was his other guy, you know. Tony Gatella was his own man, sort of thing, you know. But there was this other guy, Butcher. Oh, that was it. Butcher. Oh, fucking hell. Well, he was big as well. He was like, well, as tall as Stan Devani, but what's his name? Oh, I even remember his address now. I remember where he was because, yeah, you'll learn this later. How I tackled you know, multiple people bigger than me. I've got you. Anyway, I've got to finish this because it's getting an hour long. Yeah. Oh, fuck it, right. let's just go on, mate. Butcher. I can't remember his first name, but Butcher, he lived down Empire Road. I'm sure it was Empire Road he lived on. Stan Devani actually lived in fucking something Drive, Castlemilk Drive. No, it was Castlemilk Drive. Empire Drive. Empire Drive that ran up from Empire Road onto Glenacre Drive, which is the road that I lived on. It ran all the way along and had shops on it, and I lived above the shops. Yeah, that's it was Butcher. I can't remember his first fucking name, man. But you got to, I'm trying to think back. I mean, I'm 53 now, so I'm trying to think back. God, 11. I was 11 back then. I was 10, 11 years old. You know what I mean? I'm talking a long fucking time ago. But yeah, it was Butcher and Devani and McLean. What? I know Stan. The reason I remember Stan's name is because Stanley was his name. We actually became, after we left primary school and went to secondary school. Stanley Devani. I just called him Stan. Me and him became good friends. We were good friends. After primary, even though me and Stan had a fight before I left primary school, and when we were fighting, I was getting at him so well that he grabbed me, and I can't remember what hand it is, but he grabbed me and bit into my fucking flesh between my finger and thumb. I can't remember what hand it was. I mean, obviously it didn't do too much damage, but I remember I couldn't use the hand that he bit for about 3 or 4 weeks. It'd be a month or so before it recovered. I think it was actually my right hand, but when I was at primary school, I could use both hands to write with. I was ambidextrous when I was young. It was a thing that I lost as I got older. Yeah, but I think it was my right hand, and he bit in between the is it the forefinger? I don't know if it's forefinger or thumb. He bit right into that, the big bit of flesh in it. He bit into that, but that was the only fight I had to stand up until I was 14 or 15, and then we had a fight at school, and when we were in secondary school, and that was a different result. I basically kicked the fuck out of him because I'd been practicing jiu-jitsu and kung fu for about 3 years. And he hadn't been, and even though he was big, he just wasn't up to dealing with somebody like me who was small and quick compared to him. When you're 6'2" and you're lumbering, all I've got to do is grab you, and I avoid you grabbing me and kick the fuck out of you, what I mean, until you're on the ground, and then do my shit, But anyway, as I say, when I was younger, the person that I hated was McLaren or Maxim. I can't remember what his fucking name is now. But I do know that Butcher, he didn't actually go to the same school as it. When we left primary school and we went to secondary school, Mark Butcher didn't go with us. His family paid for him to go to a special school because he wasn't cognitively able to deal with normal people, which is why that McQuarn, I think it was McQuarn, that McQuarn guy got control of him, because he was smart up here, but he was a psychopathic fucking prick, you know what I mean? And actually he never ended up in secondary school either. I think he was taken and put in a special school as well, because he had anger issues and psychological issues, Whereas Stan Devaney, who was controlled by McQuarn, he went to secondary school, and Stan was fucking pretty good. He needed help with certain stuff, and I helped him to understand certain parts of maths and stuff like that. But then I made good friends in secondary school as well, who helped me with math and in biology and chemistry and physics and stuff like that, Most of them were girls, because to be honest with you, I mean, when I moved to secondary school, all the guys all wanted to be footballers, and I found that the girls were the people who were more interested in solving the mathematical problems that the teachers would give us, and understanding the structure, the cell structure of biology, the frogs and the eyeball and all that. So I kind of gravitated away from doing sport and gravitated towards spending time with the girls, not sexually, but intellectually, where we would talk about shit, and then that led me into understanding a bit about art and poetry and writing. I was never good at English. I actually failed my English O level, but I got really good at understanding stuff I didn't understand through the girls helping me and me helping them as well. I mean, I helped them in math and biology, they helped me, and then in physics I would help them, because all of that is math, and then we would go to chemistry and they would help me, and it was like it's like a quid pro quo thing, and so for 4 years I pretty much got on more with girls in my school than I did with the guys, and yet I was pretty good at sport, I mean, I was also good at singing and music. I shouldn't just be sitting here, lauding, I did great at school, but because it's all shit now, because I've never made it. I never became a great singer, never became a great musician, never became a mathematician, never became a physicist, never became a biologist, but I'm just saying, I did pretty well at almost everything. I'm a generalist. I'm good at everything, but I'm not great at anything. That's always been my place in life, I suppose. Good enough to pass, but never great at anything. So that's basically my academic certification. But what I did learn from my primary school days with Stan Devaney and Mark Butcher and I can't really, what's his fucking name? He had an older brother that my older brothers had problems with when they were, because they were like 2 and 4 years older than me. They had problem with the older brother of this cunt, until I mentioned his name to them when I was having problems, and they didn't identify the problem. Well, I was never one to go and moan my older brothers, I'm having problems at school, can you help me? I was never one of them, you know what I mean? So I put up, and it was only years later that I found out, But yeah, they did problems with this cunt's older brother as well, you know. But he never got to go to the secondary school that I got into. He was taken out and sent to some other special school because he was having psychological problems. And I suppose that's why he was quite devious and trying to manipulate, you know, like Stradivari and Matt Butcher to be his henchman and all that. But I learned, and when I went to secondary school, and then you got 3 or 4 primary schools all feed into a secondary school. So my secondary school sent all those people to that, and then you got 3 or 4 other, you know, primary schools feeding people. So you go from like a school of, say, you know, I don't know, 830s, 1, 2, 3, you know, 500 kids, you know, to a school of 1800 kids, you know what I mean? So now you're in secondary school, there's 1800 kids there, you know what I mean? And all come from 4 different primary schools, you know what I mean? And now you're thrown into the mix of all these people from all over the area that you live in. I suppose a bit much if you're America or England, you know, yeah, it's similar, you know. Boom, you all push together. You don't know who to watch out for, or who's the fucking, you know, the crazy guys and all that. So it takes you like the first year to find out. And you're also trying to do your school, and you're also trying to learn the shit, and that first year is pretty easy. It's pretty easy. What they're trying to do in the first year is find out what you know, and then put you into, you know, basically the classroom you're going to be in for the rest of your schooling, you know. So you go up there and you're in 1G1 or 1G2 or 1G3 or 1G4 or 1B1, 1B, no, 1G, that's the girls, you know. So it's 1, you know, first year girls 1, first year girls 2, and there's like 4 of that, and then you get 1B1, that's first year boys, first class. First year boys second class, alright. I ended up in 1B2, you know, when I first got there, you know, and as I moved up through the years, you know, I went from 1B2 to 1B3 and then 1B, no, to 2B3 and then to 3B1 and then 4B1, you know, because as usual, I'm not a slow starter, but I'm not really that interested in the bullshit that goes on in the schools, and I was always more interested in making sure that I was safe, right? So the first 2 years that I was in school, I ended up basically doing a lot of fighting. Don't get me wrong, I mean, I never dropped below a B or C average in most of my classes, but, you know, I could have been an A in every class if I wasn't spending time working out what girl was interested in me and what other guy was interested in her and who I might have to fight in order, you know, the weekends, you know, in order to prove that she was worthy of me or I was worthy of her. And there's a lot of that at school. I mean, what, I don't know what you do in school now, but it was all about that when I was, you know, when I was 12, 13. It was all about, are you going to fight for what people think you will fight for? And when I go to Glenwood Secondary School, I already had what you would call what do you call that, when people know about you? Whatever I drink with it. I already didn't name, you know. The fact was, I'd already had two brothers who'd went before me, you know, brother John, brother David. They'd already been in Glenwood. John had left and joined the hammock. David was still there, but wasn't really that interested in helping me or being supportive or protective. His idea of being protective was setting up fights between me and other people to prove that I was as hard as he was. And to be honest with you, I wasn't as hard as he was. Let's face it, you know. I just wasn't. Face to face in certain fights, I just wasn't as hard as David. And he was disappointed in me in some of the fights I was in. But to be honest with you, for all I know, he was probably getting me into fights and betting on it, and he was disappointed because he was betting on me and he lost money, you know, in some of the fights. But I wasn't really motivated, I've got to tell you. I wasn't motivated in fighting people just because I needed to beat them to get, you know, what would you call it? I wasn't interested in beating, you know, winning fights in order to get, you know, another step up on the. It's like football, you know. Like, no, if you win so many matches, you get higher on the ratings. You know, I wasn't interested in that. You know, what really pissed me off was when I seen people bullying people that I liked who helped me to do well in my schooling. Then I got really pissed, you know. And I wasn't supposed to fight with certain people, you know. Well, the teachers said you shouldn't fight with MD, you know what I mean? But David always said, oh, you know, you can't fight him because he's so-and-so's young brother. And I'm like, well, I'm your fucking young brother. You're going to fucking back me up. He said, well, he's got two older brothers who are still at school. I said, yeah, and so you fucking scared? I said, no, I'm not fucking scared. I said, okay, so if I beat the fucking shit out of him because he's fucking, you know, demanding that I give him my fags and shit, are you going to support me and protect me from his older brothers if I battle the shit out of him? He's like, yeah, we'll see, you know, and that was the shit I had to put up with, you know, from my older brother. We'll see. Yeah. To be honest with you, he actually did step in when it was needed. And he was a pretty good brother, but he was only there for 1 year while I was going through, you know, first year. You know. And then I was left against people. Well, Stan Devine actually became my friend in second year. But in third year I had to fight him because somebody had poisoned his mind that I was stealing shit off him, and if he wanted to be part of the gang, he had to fight me, you know, and we had to go through that shit, and that was fucking awful. I didn't like battling fucking Stan, you know what I mean? I really didn't. And there's a guy who was Green, what did you fucking name? That was in second year as well. You know, I was in, I think it was a biology class. Teacher was Eyeball, we used to call him. That was his nickname, Eyeball. Because he was one of those people who have you ever seen people where the eyes are sort of like protruding? You know what I mean? They've had something wrong with them, and their eyes sort of push out the sockets, and they sort of, you know, the bulge. You know what I mean? You get bulgy eyes, you know what I mean? So this was a biology teacher, and he had that affliction it was something was born there. I can't remember what it's called, but you know, he'd bulgy eyes, and so we all called him Eyeball, you know. And that was his nickname. But he was a fantastic teacher. He was fucking very good. You know what I mean? There's another teacher I was, a physics teacher, Smith. Smith? No, we called him Smiddy. Smiddy Art and Smiddy Math. That was Smiddy. So what was the Marshall? Marshall. Fantastic physics teacher. Fantastic physics teacher. Oh. I mean, he really picked up on me and what was it? Two girls, you know, because there was me and two girls who were absolutely spot on in math and physics. You know, we understood math, we understood the physics, and we always got we used to sit together and get everything right, you know, and I loved all that, you know. I loved that when I was at school, man. I loved that, you know, getting given problems and solving it, you know, and helping other people to, you know, not just telling them the answer, but guiding them, you know, giving them hints and where to find the answer. And when they got the answer and I didn't, they wouldn't just tell me, they would give me hints and how to, and we would always be in the top three. Me and the two girls would always be first, second and third, you know what I mean? Sometimes I'd be first and the two girls would be second and third. Sometimes one of the girls would be first. Sometimes some of the girls, you know, would be first and second and I'd be third, you know. It was that, you know, but it was a competition, you know, between us. It wasn't a competition of the sexes, it was a competition of minds. And yeah, you can guess some people in the class were fucking jealous, and you know, I had to fight sometimes just because I fucking won a, you know, I won the brass tack of, you know, being third or second in the class and sitting with two of the most, not just the most intelligent, but to be honest with you, they were really good looking girls as well. But we're talking about I was 12, you know what I mean? I'd been to sex till I was 13. We're talking about I was 12-year-olds. I wasn't interested in sex at the time, you know. And to be honest with you, I was more interested in getting stoned, and I actually took amphetamines and mushrooms before I was 14, you know what I mean? I didn't smoke cannabis until I was, I think, 14, 15, before I smoked cannabis, but I'd already taken, I took LSD, you know, I took LSD when I was 14, and shit, that was a fucking eye-opener. that was a fucking eye-opener, man. I don't understand why people get so fucking upset about shit that goes on between people when you're that age, you know, and then you end up having to fucking have fights with people that, you know, you're like, no, I don't really want to have to fucking fight you, you know what I mean? I don't want to have to, you know, bust your nose and stuff like that, and I don't want my nose bust. But then you end up doing it. Because that's fucking the shit that happens at that age. Well, it did when I was, you know, 12, 13 and 14, you know. I think I was talking, what was the guy named Green? Shoes then was Green. I can't remember. Was it Green? Oh shit, I can't remember. But anyway, I ended up, you know, I was in the biology class with Eyeball, you know, the teacher, what is his name? I can't, I think I say his name. Did I say his name? Fucking hell. Getting very drunk now, and I've been all over the place now, and I don't know what to talk about now. But anyway, Eyeball was the biology teacher that was teaching biology, and this guy, can't remember, something green, can't remember his first name. I should be able to remember his fucking first name. We became friends after we fought. Anyway, he was put up by Matt Batchelor, who was supposedly the best fighter in my year, you know what I mean? And Craigie, can't remember, something Craig, but his nickname is Craigie. A bit like my nickname being Bunny. My older brother David's name is Bunny, my older brother John before him was called Bunny, and when I got into school I was called Bunny. You know, it's like, you know, a family nickname, you know. So he was called Craigie, and his older brother was called Craigie, and his older brother beyond that was called Craigie, you know, and all that, you know. So he was called Craigie, but his name was Craig, you know. And Batchelor, Matt Batchelor was, you know, he didn't have any family, he didn't have any older brothers who were in school, but he had older brothers who had been through the school and were now living in real life, you know. And then sort of like, you know, nobody wanted to fuck with them because they were like, you know, they were known in the area as, you know, if you fuck with them, they'll come and do you over, you know, that sort of thing. So basically this is the world that I'm growing up in, and then I get into a fight because it was instigated by Batchelor and Craig that this, oh no, his name wasn't Green, Fisher, that was him. His nickname was Green because his nickname was Green, but his name was Fisher. His second name was Fisher. I can't remember what his first name was again, you know, but his nickname was Greenie, a green, but his name was Fisher. It was Fisher, yeah. Anyway, he came up to me in Eyeball's fucking science class one day. Says to me, "Yeah, Bunny, so you think you're fucking good at fucking science and all that shit? You know, cause you're sitting with a woman and they help you and all that. You're a fucking poof and all that." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, you're fucking, you're a hoofed, aren't you? You're a poof, you know what I mean? You fucking, what, sit a day with a woman, you're no shagged in them yet." I was like, "What the fuck you on?" He's like, "Yeah, you're just a hoofed, aren't you?" And he spat in my face. I think he expected me to sort of like say, "Okay, alright, no, I'll fight you, you know, at playtime, you know. At playtime I'm going, you know, me and you square go." But I was like, you know, I'm not MD spit in my face, and I grabbed him and I punched him so fucking hard, man, right? I punched him so hard I knocked the fucker's back out, and he couldn't fight back. He just dropped to the fucking floor, boom, you know what I mean? And it's like Eyeball, you know, the teacher, he's seen this, you know, he's like, "Bunyan, you know, get out of here," you know. I was like, "What?" You know, so I'm walking out to, you know, the front of the class, man, wiped my face, the spit all off my face, you know what I mean? Didn't know I did at the time. I was a very young man, beautiful young man. Anyway, I get in, what are you doing? Get out of the classroom, you know. And he ran round to see what was going on with Fisher. What was his fucking name? Something I can't remember it anyway. So I was put outside the class. So I was standing outside the classroom, you know, thinking, shit, I'm in fucking deep shit now, man. You know, I'm going to get like banned out of school for like 3 or 4 weeks. I mean, that's what they used to do at that time. You know, you would get like 12 of the belt and then banned for 3 weeks. You know. And if you refuse the belt, you get banned for 12 weeks. You know what I mean? So I was starting to think, what the fuck? Why did he come up? So I'm thinking, brains always think, why did he come up and start troubling me? Because I don't know the guy if he had him. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking, yeah, he's trying to get into some group. And some group says, in order to do it, you got to start a fucking a fight. It doesn't matter if you win or lose, you've got to start a fight, blah blah blah. And they're saying, pointed them in my direction, because I was not a joiner. I mean, I had a lot of people in secondary school, you want to join your gang, I'm not a joiner. I don't give a shit what I don't care what you fucking believe in. I'm not a joiner. I'm not, I'm happy being by myself. I'm not a fucking joiner, So, I think that probably made me a bit of a target for the people who wanted to fucking join shit, you know what I mean? Because there's always fucking assholes who want to join fucking shit, you know what I mean? They think it's going to improve their life or some fucking thing, So anyway, they woke him up, they got the salts, they got the fucking nurse down. I was sent to the, what do you call it, the principal's office. And I simply told the principal, he left the desk, came round and accosted me, and I defended myself, and unfortunately I got a lucky hit. And he's got a glass jaw or a weak fucking mind, and I knocked him out. I wasn't intending to do it, I was just defending myself. And then when they talked to Eyeball, he said, well, yeah, James was standing at his position in the room, his desk in the room, because it was like these long benches, and then out of the bench came like a pin like that, and then off of one end and off of the other there would be like a tap with a spigot, and it would be like a rimmed sort of a big rim, a small rim, and a small, so you could stick things, hoses on, rubber hoses on, and it would stick on it, and then you could get the gas, you could turn the gas on, and he would, the teacher would control putting the gas into the whole room after, and then you could turn it, and then you could put the rubber hose into your Bunsen burner, and you could, light your Bunsen burner, and you could do your experiments and shit, I don't know if any of you understand, what I'm talking about, but that's the way it used to be in the classes that I was in. There'd be these V-shaped things with spigot, turn, and you put your rubber hose on, and once you get all your equipment set up, then the teacher would turn on the gas, and it would come through the whole classroom with all the gas. And you could turn on your Bunsen burner and shit like that, and you could do your science experiments, boil your fucking shit and put your crap into it and see when it changed colour, and that would explain what was going on, all that sort of stuff, right? So I was at my place and he wasn't at his place, so they had to believe that I was defending myself, because I didn't go to his place and punch him. He came to my place and I punched him out. But anyway, getting down to it. I can't remember his name. Fisher. I thought it was going to be fish. Anyway, we had to, you know, it came down to, you know, the next day, you know, me and him had to go and fight and sort this out. I had hit him when he didn't expect me to hit him. I think, well, that's not the whole fucking point of fighting and winning. I don't know. But anyway, we had to fight again, you know. I guess his agreement was he had to beat me to get in or some fucking thing. Anyway, so we had to fight in the playground that day, and I said to my brother David, you know, I'm going to have to fight, and I don't have anybody to have my back. You know, I don't want to start fighting this guy and then have 4 other guys start, you know, jumping in, you know, that sort of thing, you know, if I'm winning, you know. So David says, well, because I think it was David's last year, you know, he was going to be leaving at the end of the year, and then I'd be left anyway in school with no older brothers in school to help me out, you know. And I didn't want him to, I didn't say to him, you come down, you beat him up and protect me. It was like, I just want you there, you know, to make sure that other people don't get involved on his side, and then I'm fighting 2 people, you know, that sort of thing, you know. So we go down to the end of the playground when it's time to fight, and you know, and me and this guy Fisher start fighting. We got hold of each other, you know, by the hair, and you know, he's got my hair, you know what I mean, and I've got his hair, you know, so we're head to head, and you know, I'm fucking, you know, kicking, kicking him, he's kicking at me, and then a fucking fit comes up and goes boosh and hits me in the chin, and another fit comes up and hits him in the chin, and it's like, you know, what the fuck, you know what I mean, because there's a whole circle of people around you all chanting, yeah, fight, no, come kill him, you know. But then the people who are standing around us, you know, supposedly egging us on to fight, they're all going, yeah, nobody's watching, and they're going poof, and they're putting their boot in it. So I'm getting kicked in the face, I'm getting kicked in the guts, I'm getting kicked in the leg, kicked in the fucking, you know, people try to kick my balls, and you kick that, I'm like that, what the fuck? So I'm like that, I let go of him, and I fall down, and I grab him, and I put my feet, and I throw him over my head, right, onto his back. You know, he's let go of me about this time, you know what I mean. So I get up and I jump on him, and I'm giving it fucking loud, I'm punching for not at his face, but out his guts, you know, I'm punching fuck at his guts, and then I get a kick right in the side of my head, man. Boom, you know what I mean, knocks me right off, and my brother David jumps in, he grabs this guy and fucking throws him, you know, because, you know, you go to see my brother David when you know, he's dead, yeah. But he picked this guy, because he's seen it, you know, and it was like, you know, he grabbed this guy and threw him against, you know, a wall of people, you know what I mean, boom, you know what I mean, and he says, fucking leave them to fight, you know what I mean, and they all just like stepped back, and I was like knocked off, you know, almost, you know what I mean, I'm like, you know what I mean, I can hear what's going on, but I'm like, you know, what the fuck is going on, you know, and I get up on my feet, and I'm still like, you know, dizzy and that, you know, and I see, I can't remember his fucking name, but you know, Fisher on the ground, and he's like, you know, he's retching, you know, he's throwing up and all that, you know. And I say, I think we've both had enough, you know. So I help him up, and I say, look, I think we can both agree, you know, we'll give it a good go. Nobody won. How about we talk about this later, you know? And, you know, because it was getting near the end of the day, it was, you know, after school, you know. And the next day, me and him chatted about it, and became good friends. And we were good friends from the first year of school through to the 4th year of school. We understood, because he explained to me that he had been cajoled into it, and he actually respected me for not, you know, actually, you know, when that shit happened, you know, making a mess of them, you know. And my brother David says that I was a fool and I should have beat the shit out of him. But that's a difference between me and even my brother, you know what I mean? That, you know, I didn't believe it was necessary. And I made more friends out of that fight than if I'd won the fight by beating the shit out of I can't remember his name now. His first name, you know, Fisher. But you know what I mean? When I talked to Mark, God, I mentioned him earlier on. When I talked to Craigie, well, Craigie thought I was a bit of a wimp, but Mark he understood what was going on, and he became quite a good friend. I mean, he was quite, you know, quite athletic, very good at you know, football, and was well into football. I became good at basketball and swimming, but he was a good footballer, you know. We actually became friends with Craigie. Me and Craigie never really became friends, but then I learned as well that my brother John and my brother David never got on with his older brothers either. It's one of those things. I mean, you know, it's one of those things you grow up with, but over the next 4 years I never really had to fight more than like once a year. You know, and one of those fights was fighting Stan Devani, where it was hard for me, especially since we fought over a stolen pencil, which I didn't steal, but someone convinced Stan that I'd stole his pen, and I was like, Stan, I've known you for fucking 7 years, and do you think I'm going to steal your pencil, and do you think it's worth us fighting over? And he thought it was, because someone had convinced him that if he didn't fight me and prove himself against me, you know, it's like it would seem as a complete... Don't get me wrong, I mean, I never looked at Stan Devani as being thick or slow. You know, I always looked at him as a friend that I'd known since I was 11 years old. But when you're 14, turning 15, and this 6'2" guy wants to fight you, and you're 5 foot fucking 8 or something, you know, it's like, you know, shit, you know, I just don't want to get close. I don't want to get close to him where he can grab me, and you know, because he's a fucking strong fucker, you know what I mean? So, and I'd been spending like a year or a year and a half practicing judo and jiu-jitsu and stuff like that, you know. To my brothers in the army, and older brother, you know, John, he'd been in Northern Ireland, and he'd been trained by the army afterwards. So when he came home on holidays, you know, he called holidays breaks, you know what I mean? He gets like, you know, 6 weeks, and then he's away back to Ireland again to fucking, you know, fight the fucking IRA and shit like that. When he came back, he's all into, this in the 70s, you know what I mean? He was all into fucking jiu-jitsu and, you know, taekwondo, and I was learning judo, you know what I mean, in my local community college, and he was all into, you know, Bruce Lee and all that shit, you know, and it's like, so I was in that shit, you know, I loved my older brother, I wanted to be like him, you know, so Stan had no chance, man, he fucking no chance, no matter how big he was just slow and dumb, and until he got a hold of me and then he almost killed me. I was doing well until he, got too close and he grabbed me and got hold of me and almost killed me. And I'd say okay, I give in. Stan beat me. I still don't know whether I actually wanted to beat Stan or whether I felt like he needed to win. You know what I say? I don't know how to, because psychology is a really crazy thing. I knew he would never really hurt me, although he did. He did. He hurt me really bad. But I mean, I think in a way I let him get a hold of me and let him put me in that position where I had to get at him. Which was unfortunate because a year later I had to show Stan that it was just I let you win sort of thing. When we had a real fallout over women, and I had to cut the shit out. So by the time I was 15, basically I'd lost all my brother's help to go through school and all that, and had to deal with living up to my own expectations, and had to basically beat the shit out of my best friend that I'd ever had, and lost my second best friend by having sex with his sister, and lost my third best friend because I caught him stealing out my house when I invited him up to be in my house and how the fuck the people that you trust and you invite into your house, how do they come into your house and treat you as your best friend, and then and then fucking thief from that sort of, it just doesn't matter, right? Fucking doesn't matter. Tony Gatell, little thieving fucking bastard. That's one of the fat fucks I fought in school when I was in primary. Yeah, Tony Gatell. Yeah, he was actually a friend of mine, when I was like 13, 14. Brought him into my house and they fucking stole from my house, you know what I mean? I battered him. His stepbrother, because he wasn't, what do you call it? No, he was adopted by this family. His brother was, he was Tony Gatell, his brother was John Pitt. John Pitt was 2 years older, he's the same age as my brother. My first brother, just older than me. Got two brothers older than me, David and John. David was the same age as John Pitt. When I found out about fucking Tony Gatell, and I battered him, and then John Pitt came looking for me to get revenge on his stepbrother, and then my brother David stepped in and battered shit out of John Pitt. It was like, Can you imagine what it's like when all this is going on, you know, on the same day, and then you've got the two mothers at the door, my mother and John Pitt and Tony Gattella's mother. Your sons have beat my boys up, you know. And my mother going, yeah, well, you know, well, boys will be boys, you know what I mean? Why are you up here shouting at me? What would you expect? I'm going to bring my boys out and let your boys beat my boys, and you know, go home, you know. Stop being an idiot, you know what I mean? Boys will be boys fight, go away, you know what I mean? That was the attitude of my mum, and I'm so proud of my mum. She did that, because that is basically, we're talking about 12 and 13 and 14-year-old kids. I mean, you know, it's like, it's kids punching each other, and you know, busting a lip or busting a nose. It's not like we're, you know, went out in the woods and hung them, or chopped their fucking arms off, or, you know, stabbed them to death. It's like we went out there and went fisticuffs, you know, come on, fucker, you know, it's like, you know, a couple of kicks in the balls, a couple of punches in the face, and that's it, you know, it's over, you know what I mean? That's, you know, that's what I call fighting. That's what kids should do. That's what 12 and 13 and 14-year-old kids should. They shouldn't be running about with guns shooting each other. You shouldn't be running about with knives stabbing each other. If you've got a fucking problem with people, you know what I mean, you go out and punch them, you know, and if you get punched, that's fine. They shouldn't kick fuck out you when you're down. Once you're on the ground, they should wait you either get up or you say I've had enough. And that's it, I won then, you know, that's it, I won. You don't want to go on, I won, you know. You shouldn't have to fucking kill somebody to prove that you won. That's fucking ludicrous, idiotic, stupid shit, you know what I mean? If you're 12, 13-year-old, you go into a fight with someone, you know what I mean? You don't need a fucking pipe wrench or a fucking gun or a knife. You use your fists and your feet, but once somebody's on the ground and say, I give in, that's it, you go, I won. Did everybody hear him say he gives in? Okay, I won that fight. That's fighting. That's fucking fighting, man. It's not about making sure that he doesn't stand up again and go home to his family. It's about making sure he says, you won, and you're not going to have to fight this fight again. That's it. That's it. That's at least the way that fighting used to be back in 1971, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82. As far as I know, you know, when I was, you know, going through those years, as a teenager going into my 20s, yeah, that's, you know, if you punch someone the fuck out, you know what I mean, you did continue to hit them, they're unconscious, right? You don't beat someone who's unconscious. What you do is you wake them up and go, oh, you okay? Right. Okay, I won, didn't I? And you go, yeah, okay, I won. And everybody around about said, yeah, you won. You know, and that's it, you know. You're not trying to kill someone. You're not trying to kill someone. You're just trying to win. All that shit with knives and guns. I can only say you're a psychopathic murdering bastard, and I don't trust you around anybody. And if I was one of your standbys, you know what I mean, and you do that shit and you knock that cunt out and you keep kicking them or punching them, I'm the one that's going to go in there and stop you, and I'm going to remember you're a fucking nutter, and I'm not going to be around you anymore. I am not going to be around you anymore when you can't stop. I don't understand people's fucking attitude when you need to kill someone because what? They called your mum a whore, they said your sister was a fat ugly bitch, they said you were a fucking poof. I mean, that's, you've got to kill them. Why can't you just knock them the spark out, you know what I mean, and wake them up and say, right, you're going to fucking recant on what you said, and they say, okay, you're not a poof, I'm sorry, I'm just making that shit up. Like, okay, you know what I mean? Now you owe me a fucking couple of beers, you can't, you know what I mean? Don't understand why the world you become kill or be killed, you know what I mean? I just don't understand it. And it's not atheists that made the world this way, because most of the people that run about shooting and killing each other are fucking religious fuckers. They're all doing that fucking shit, you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck's that all about? Right? What, you kill someone and you go, oh God, you know, send his soul off, God, you know what I mean? But please, you know, put me in heaven. Fuck you, you're going to fucking hell if you believe that shit, you prick, you know what I mean? Why did you fucking kill him? You're a fucking idiot. But you think God's going to fucking, you know, give you fucking grace. He's going to fill that little heart-shaped hole in your heart. You're a fucking fucktard. You don't go killing fucking people, you know what I mean? You knock them the spark out and then you bring them in and say, I won, sorry for that mate, let's go and have a drink, you know what I mean? You don't kill people because of a disagreement. Unless you're a fucking American fucking nutter or a crazy fucking European cunt who doesn't understand that fucking life is life. Life is life. Life is fucking life. It's more important than your fucking idiotic, shitty idea of what you think the world encapsulates, you know what I mean? Life is more important than the shitty, crappy fucking ideas you got in your fucking head. And we've all got to realise that. I don't kill people when I knock them the spark out. I wake them up and help them, you know. That's what I do, because that's what you're supposed to fucking do. You're not supposed to strangle them or kill them or shoot them in the head or slash their throat. You're not supposed to do that shit. You disagree with someone and it gets so hard, so bad that you have to go with fisticuffs. Once you knock someone down and they say, that's it, you win, or give up, you don't continue to fucking, you know, beat them or you just don't. You just fucking don't. You know what I mean? Unless they need it. Some people will say, I'm going to kill you, 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 oh you, I'm going to kill you. And you say, well, it's just what they think, you know. But if they come back and try and kill you and you have to knock the fucking spark out again, and then you say, phew, not only did I have to knock them out, I had to fucking fight 3 other guys, you know, they brought with me, you know. It's like, whoa, this is getting serious, you know what I mean? I better disappear, or I should just kill them. I suppose there's situations like that. Doesn't happen every fucking day. Most people will take the message when you're not on the spark out and say, that's it, we had to fight, done, right? It's done. Son du vas. Go on. Fuck off. Don't darken my doorstep again. Yeah. I suppose there's always a few people who would never understand that until you enforce it. Sound you fucking bad motherfucker.